ITWeb sat down to chat with ex-CEO of Google, South Africa, Stafford Macy, at the CA event held earlier this year, to get his opinion on how students can change the South African IT landscape.
I think you have to, if we almost press pause on where we are today, technologically, everything that has had a major impact has come from university. Facebook, Google was the Stanford University project, right? Facebook, Harvard University, we've all seen the movie. YouTube was a bunch of university kids. So a lot of the innovation that we see happening is happening in that tertiary educational institute. And I guess in South Africa, what we should do, and I think that's where your question is going, is how can we create some type of mechanism for kids that are innovative, etc., to explore and expose themselves. And because what I see happening, which is very sad in South Africa, we've become technological consumers. We haven't become technological innovators. A lot of the people that make things technologically leave South Africa because there's other markets that are akin to that skill. In South Africa, we are a market of consumption. We buy multinational software products. We don't build our own products. And I think it's an enormous opportunity. And I think if you take a look at the telecommunications renaissance that we're going through right now, the cable's going live. If you take a look at what mobile devices will be capable of doing and look at the roadmap between now and the next, say, 36 months, I think there's only so much more that can happen. I think kids, I'm working on something around bringing international content platforms into the country. Where you literally have an Amazon cloud service where you can deploy your application in the cloud and execute it in country, and you can innovate around it in country. So we need to understand where we are relative to everyone else. But I do believe in the next 12 to 36 months, we are going to experience a very quick acceleration of these services suddenly being available en masse to all of us. Who knew that we'd go from being one of the most expensive countries in the world from a telecommunications environment to now having a Cell C broadband wireless connection for 3,000 Rand, 5 gig a month. It's 21 megs a second. I mean, 3,000 Rand for 21 megs a second, capped at 5 gigs a month. Wireless. That offering has suddenly taken us from being one of the cheapest in the world. So this will continue to evolve as carriers figure out how to monetize data and move gradually away from monetizing the connectivity commodity and voice. But I see it all happening, and I see that's the opportunity, because what I like about where we are is that it's almost as though climatological change has resulted in cloud formations over the Sahara Desert. We've always had a lack of all these things, and I believe cloud is forming all over us. When those raindrops start falling, I think you'll see an immensely different landscape in a very short period of time. And yeah, that's the promise. So, I'm doing a little bit in my capacity. I know there's a couple of people that are doing some in their capacity. I mean, one of the things that I'm doing, I haven't announced it broadly, I just spoke about it once. I spoke about this Gov 2.0 event that I'd like to bring to South Africa. The one that is happening this year. I won't give the name and I won't give too many details, but this will be the first public notion or mention of it, is I'm bringing the top 10 venture capitalists from the United States to South Africa. And I'm talking about the venture capitalists in the technology space, so the Silicon Valley venture capitalists. So we're bringing them over mid-year this year, and the objective of that is to show them what Africa is all about. Because no one has invited them, and no one has told them about us, and they're ignoring us. So what we need to do is bring them over here and show them that our banking industry has some of the best banking technologies in operation in the world. Some of our banking systems are the best in the world. In the mobile space, we're doing stuff that they don't even think of today. Waytag.com is unique in what it does globally. So we need to bring them here and show them that Africa is a great place to incubate. Africa is a place to focus on. It's not as regulated as some of the other markets, so you can do things and you can push the envelope. And once we've sold them, and which this is what I want to do, I want to sell Africa to them. So what I'd like to do is showcase a few startups to them, And on day 2, I want to introduce them to private sector executives, CEOs, and then public sector executives, and DGs and ministers. And the objective there is literally to create a bridge between them and us. And hopefully it's not an event that is just an event and it disappears and it dissipates. But what we want to do is create a mechanism, some channel where the VCs have an opportunity to participate and we have access to them from a seed funding perspective, because in all honesty, we don't have VCs in South Africa. All the tech VCs in this country, I'll say it on camera, they're not VCs. Okay, they're not seed VCs. They are guys that are very in between VC and private equity. When you have a technology and you have a bit of a book and you've got some client base, they'll like to look at you. Else they'll just take over your company. So they're not. What we're looking for is people that are willing to take risks. And VCs in the American cultural way are willing to take risks. They truly seed funders. So what we want to do is put some people that have ideas in front of them and give them an opportunity to incubate those ideas in country. Don't leave here. And then we create some type of IP bridge between what's happening here and them. So when they launch it in the United States, they have peace of mind and we're not going to steal their IP and run away and give it to somebody else. So create some IP quarantining and risk mitigation and allow them to fund and create a platform for that funding. So that's what Stanford's doing. But I think if we can all just, there's the Mobilitate guys that are doing some really cool things. I know some other people like Mark Shuttleworth and these people that are very interested in making a change. So it's a death by 1,000 wounds concept. I think if we all attack this thing in our little minuscule manner, eventually we'll achieve what we want to achieve. So, those are the two things that I think may make a difference. And then I'm working with CCOM on some other things to see if I can bring international content closer into Africa, which will also change the game. So I'm very positive. I'm very positive that some of these efforts will lead to something positive. I just don't know what that is. But, we've just got to keep knocking at this thing. But I think we've got an immense opportunity, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm saying, let's be positive, let's be passionate, and let's tackle it with integrity, and I think some change will occur.